Okay, pop quiz. How do you stop a plague? Medicine? Prayer? Quarantine? What if I told you the official 16th century solution was to throw a bigger, even more raucous party? Welcome to the Dancing Plague of Strasbourg, 1518. A historical event so bizarre, it makes you wonder if someone slipped something extra into the town's water supply. This isn't a metaphor. This isn't a fever dream. This is the true story of when a single woman started dancing in the street and ended up leading a conga line of misery that the authorities tried to solve with more dancing. Strap in, y'all. This one gets weird. Picture it, Strasbourg, in what's now France, July 15, 18. It's hot, it's musty, the smell is robust. Life is hard. You've got crop failures, crippling poverty, and a buffet of medieval diseases that make diarrhea look like peak fitness. The people are stressed, superstitious, and deeply, deeply Catholic. The stage is set for something to break, and break it did. Enter Frau Troffa. Probably not her real name, but history is bad with receipts. One day, this crazy lady just walks into the street and starts dancing. Not a happy dance, but a frantic, compulsive, cannot stop kind of dance. Picture your uncle at a wedding after one too many, but replace the joy with sheer, unadulterated panic. She dances for hours, then days. Her feet are bleeding. She's exhausted, hallucinating, probably screaming. The neighbors aren't calling a doctor, they just watching. And then get this, she's joined by another dancer and then another. Within a week, we've got a full-blown flash mob of despair. 34 people, then 400. The world's first and worst silent disco has begun, and the bouncers are nowhere to be found. So what did the wise city fathers of Strasbourg conclude? Mass hysteria? Collective psychosis triggered by stress? Poisoning from moldy rye bread? Please, this is the 1500s. Their diagnostic process was different. They consulted the local doctors and astrologers, often the same guy, for efficiency. After careful deliberation, they arrived at a groundbreaking medical conclusion. The dancers were suffering from hot blood. Seriously, an excess of hot blood. The medieval cure for most things was either bleeding you or some spiritual shit, and these folks were apparently too human. But the real cause, according to the authorities, was divine. They decided the dancers were afflicted by the wrath of Saint Virtus. Now, Saint Virtus was the patron saint of dancers and epileptics, a fun combo. And if he was mad at you, he might just make you dance yourself to death. The logic is impeccable. Anger the saint of dancing, and you dance. It's like angering the saint of bakers and suddenly being forced to sourdough until you collapse. So, what's the remedy? How do you appease an angry saint who's cursed your town with involuntary cardio? Here is the glorious medieval logic that defines this whole event. The city council's prescription was not rest, not sedation, not to maybe stop. It was to dance more, but professionally. I ain't making this up. They decided the way to break the curse was to lean into it. They cleared a marketplace, built a giant wooden stage, hired professional dancers and musicians, and brought in the strongmen to force the afflicted to keep dancing. Their theory? If they danced the hot blood out in a controlled, vigorous, and officially sanctioned manner, the curse would lift. It's like treating a gunshot wound by shooting the victim again, but with a nicer gun and a live band. So imagine the scene. A horrific spectacle of hundreds of people, some there against their will, dancing in agony to fiddles and drums, while the city pays for the whole thing. People are dying. They having heart attacks, strokes, and collapsing from exhaustion. The death toll climbs. And the official response is to turn up the music and pay the piper. Literally. It's the craziest party in human history. Eventually, after a solid month of this, the dancing began to subside. Not because of the city's brilliant more dancing plan, but probably because the participants had either died, escaped, or simply collapsed from sheer biological necessity. So what really happened? Modern historians have a few theories, all more plausible than angry dancing saint. Theory 1, mass psychogenic illness, a fancy term for stress so extreme it physically manifests. Think of it as the entire town having a nervous breakdown, with choreography. Theory 2, ergot poisoning, fungus on rye bread that contains LSD-like compounds, could cause spasms, hallucinations, and the sensation of burning skin. Hot blood, anyone? A bad batch of bread could have been the trigger. Theory 3, a religious fervor. In an era of extreme piety, the line between devotion and mania was thin. This could have been a desperate collective cry for salvation, a punishing pilgrimage performed in the town square. In the end, the cure was likely what we now call stopping, and maybe some quiet time. The dancing plague is more than a weird footnote. It's a perfect, darkly comic snapshot of humanity under pressure. When faced with the unexplainable, the authorities didn't ask why. They went with the first supernatural excuse they could find and then prescribed the exact thing that was killing people. It's a masterclass in bureaucratic panic. It's also a reminder that the line between a party and a plague is thinner than you think. All it takes is one person to start a trend, a crowd to join in, and a bunch of clueless leaders to decide the best solution is to hire a DJ and make it official. So the next time you're forced onto a dance floor, feeling awkward and out of rhythm, remember the people of Strasbourg. It could be worse. You could be doing it because the city council ordered you to, your feet are bleeding, and St. Vitus is giving you a thumbs down from heaven.
If you enjoyed this tale of history's most involuntary rave, smash that like button. It's the only form of compulsive behavior we encourage here.
Subscribe for more stories where the past proves itself to be utterly, brilliantly deranged. What's your theory? Mass hysteria or a really bad batch of medieval brownies? Let us know in the comments. And for more true stories that make you say, wait, what? You know what to do.